38. We're live. Yeah, we're here. Butler, New Jersey. So, as you know, live questions get priority. I actually have two questions. So let's get started. The first question was, what's the best sort of defense against a shoulder crunch sweep? So usually shoulder crunch sweep is set up with butterfly guard. So Craig here starts to set up shoulder crunch. So hold on one second. So if I'm here, guys, if I can keep him seated, so see how I'm opening my legs and I'm trying to control his head. So right now I have a decent ability to control. So what I would do is pull forward, shoot my hand through, and pull back. So again, if he sits up, what I'm going to try to do is control his posture, shoot my arm through, and swing. This is a very early stage, okay? Now, usually if Craig starts to drop back and starts to stretch me out, now the sweep will happen. So if I feel the sweep is going to happen, as I'm going with it, what I'm looking to do is post my hand on his leg, so I maybe put him in a split guard, which now allows me to counterattack. So let's look at it again. This is very important, guys. Again, pretty much if you've been watching for a while, you know that a lot of times when you ask me about a defense, there's no single one defense. A lot of times there is three types of defenses. There is early stage, which is usually easy, just take it away from the guy, nothing happens, or you could actually counter off that. Second is medium stage, and third is late stage. Sometimes the medium stage is not. Here we're going kind of like, okay, you can kind of hang out, medium stages kind of hang out, but you know, at that point you may either get out. If you actually got out, medium stage where you kind of fully extending, you kind of hanging out here and you escape. If I'm the guy on the bottom, I'm going to snap your head down and continue to attack. So medium stage here is not so useful, I would think. The most important one, I think, is the early stage and the late stage. So again, let's look at it. So early stage, Craig. So I'm controlling his posture. Now, once I feel like, okay, I basically stop him in his tracks briefly. What I'm going to do is shoot my hand through and swing my elbow. That's an early stage. But late stage, as Craig starts to stretch me out, what I'm looking to do as this is happening, move my hips away. As he's coming up, I'm looking to get some sort of a grip to make sure that I can sort of make something happen when he's in my guard. Okay, so that's sort of shoulder crunch defenses. Again, guys, I don't mind getting swept if I wind up on the bottom with superior grips that I can either re-sweep or, more importantly, probably get a quick submission or sweep and then a submission. It's very important, especially in competition. Sometimes things get kind of distorted where guys are trying to prevent points being scored, and it becomes very, sort of like black and white, where the guy's like, okay, I'm going to stop the sweep no matter what. And sometimes they do, and sometimes they put themselves in such a bad position, just things start to move downhill very quickly. So, or same thing with the guard passing. The guy's trying to stop the guard pass, and then, he basically commits to that defense so much that when the guy actually does penetrate the guard, they have no choice but turn the back, and now the guy takes their back and chokes them out. So it went from preventing 3 points to getting finished. So you got to make those calls early on and then decide, okay, what do I still have here that is possible? And don't necessarily, especially in training, necessarily, try to stop it where the guy pauses, because now it's going to become easier for you to sort of counter. But also, if you get swept or if there's something happens, let's see if you can make lemonade. You sort of what do we got?
I'm just looking at Kirk's face. We had a good morning from Ensberg.
What's up?
Enrique said that's a cool rash guard.
Oh my God. Guys, look at this. Thank you, Enrique. So Fox BJJ 561. You know what 561 stands for? It's the area code for West Palm Beach. That's where Enrique's school is. And if you're in West Palm Beach, Florida area, yeah, stop by, say hello, and get some great training in.
We had a question from Ensberg.
Yes.
What
It would not be an episode without a question from Ensberg.
we've missed his questions.
I believe if there's a prize for the most consistent question asking, Engsberg would win it.
That and
Sure.
viewership, yeah. Question: when passing while standing against a seated partner, how do you handle the initial engagement? I feel I sometimes go too deep too quickly, and then I'm dealing with shin to shin. If I could step inside my partner's guard to a headquarters style position, I feel pretty good, but against a good partner, that is hard.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. That's a good question. So let's go from shin to shin. So anytime. So first of all, I'm trying to prevent this. Okay. So usually people post, and the reason they post is because I don't want Craig to go really deep. Yeah. Now I'm starting to lose it. Okay. So what I want to do is not allow him to get such deep grips. So if I'm posting, I prefer to be inside. But even if Craig decides, okay, so a lot of times you have the guillotines. Shallow. One of my favorites, iron fist. So that is an option also. So if I can get in, this is going to be good. Now I can threaten a guard pass, and I can also threaten the head grip. Now, if I'm, yeah. So now I lower my level. He can sweep me, which is okay, but now I have the head control. So now I can sort of start to pin him and start to do the floating guard pass. So that's one option. Now, so when you sort of start to control the head, that's a good way to attack, right? But you also sometimes you don't get that. So one of the things that is very underrated is I don't get the head. So shin to shin, and he starts to sweep. When that happens, and I got nothing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw myself forward, and I try to land on his shoulder. Let's pivot, Craig. This is where I'm trying to, so if I start to lose it, I have no grips. I will take a big back step, okay? Because if you start to lose it, you're vulnerable to a sweep. You're vulnerable to leg entries. You're vulnerable to, and if, a lot of times if you stop the sweep, a lot of times you can attack the arms and the head. But this now, what is he gonna do? So let's play it out, go ahead. Whatever makes sense to you. Sometimes you can actually get the arm and attack the armbar. We're going to do it again. Let's see, what angle could we, yeah, so turn your head this way. Yeah, so we're going to do it this way, right? So I just hope I don't land. I gotta crack the
5 feet to the mic.
So so if I have the head, I will always try to control the head because that gives me options sort of to control him a little bit and get an underhook, and now I can start to do things, right? Again, I always have the option of, if you hit somebody with an iron fist, it's even if you don't have them in your guard or you don't control their body, I can finish the iron fist being mounted. I'm mounted. Bottom side control, top side control, bottom half guard, top half guard. Video, so I literally, me and Craig just froze. So when I take that back step, I'm going to do it again. This is where I want to land. So I can, if he ignores this, I can potentially attack this arm. But usually, again, the guy will try to, so if he doesn't, if I can turn him away, I'm actually going to start to threaten the arm, okay? I can go under, over, it doesn't matter. But a lot of times the guy is going to start to turn to you, no problem. This I can control, okay? Let's look at it. I just realized I have a tip for one of my students. Remind me after.
Okay.
All right? So again, If I have the head, but if he sits, crunch his shoulders, so so I cannot attack the head. I don't have anything here. Literally, I have nothing. He can post on my, I have nothing. Look, I have 0 grips. When you feel like, what he's gonna be doing is he's gonna be lifting, and as he's doing this, I'm gonna basically go forward. Then from here, I take the arm. Now, if he ignores this, I will attack the arm. I've done this many times. But most often, so when you land here, they're gonna turn to you. They're gonna try to withdraw this elbow, no problem. And now I'm in a good position. Including having passed his guard. So this is kind of how I act. Usually, like if the guy gets superior grips from the bottom, seated guard, I will, if I have access to the head and arm control, I will take that. If I don't have access to the head and arm control, like you were too late, the guy just kind of tucked, usually to prevent the head wrap is, all you need to do is one side or the other. When that happens, I will take a big back step. And it's like literally short circuits everything he's working on. So don't forget to play around with the big back step. What else have we got?
We are running out of time. We have one more minute left. We had a question from Esberg regarding when they connect. He has a hard time connecting his hands. I believe it's from the last stream. No, from when he wraps the head, or from the armbar. Ensberg, go to the app side. We'll figure out your question then. Yeah, because I was on a live stream. But,
and we're out of time, guys. I will see you next week. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh, yes.
Guys, if you've been watching and you stay till the end, I have a special announcement for you. So, the annual Costa Rica camp is February 4th to 9th, okay? 2025. There is a hard limit, 30 people. There is no more that's allowed. So what we did is we actually announced it to my students this week. I consider you some of my students, so you will get an early invitation as well. By the way, there's only 23 spots left. Last year, what happened is once we put it on Facebook and Instagram, it sold out within 2 days. So if you want to consider going, email to Aliyah at silverfoxbjj.com.
Yes.
I will see you next week.